Este capítulo es gracias a Paz, un chalet en Santa Elena, Antioquia, en medio del bosque perfecto para descansar y conectarse con la naturaleza. Aquí les dejo el QR con el link que los lleva allá. Hi everyone, my name is Daniel Alvarez from Colombia, and here we are with Jelmer, right?
Yes, that's
so Jelmer is from Belgium,
Yep.
and he's from Bioracer. So Jelmer, first thing, or two things, you can answer in any order. Who's Jelmer in Bioracer, or what do you do, and what is Bioracer for all of those people who doesn't know what it is?
So my name is Jelmer. I'm performance brand manager at Bioracer. So I'm responsible for all our performance clothing, so the speedwear, all the testing, the wind tunnel testing, and also responsible for our speed center, where we have our bike fitting system, aero fitting system, where we do the virtual wind tunnel analyze. So actually for all the things that can make you faster, but make you faster also for the normal riders. And what's Bioracer? So Bioracer is probably most known from the clothing. So we did the clothing of Remco Evenepoel at Olympic Games. So since 40 years, Bioracer is a clothing company, but also started as bike fitting. But now everybody knows us from our core business, clothing. So we do mainly clothing for custom, so for clubs, companies who have their own design and cycling clothing.
Cool. So you guys started as a bike fitters.
So our founder Raymond, he started Bioracer in his garage, doing bike fitting in the early 80s. And from there on, he started developing bike fitting system, and that got sold out to Shimano. So the bikefitting.com system originated at Bioracer. But in the same time, riders came to him for bike fitting, but they started complaining about clothing. And his wife had some experience stitching, so she bought 2 stitching machines, started making clothing, and from there on also more interest in clothing, and clothing became the core business of Bioracer since now more than 35, 40 years, doing clothing, mainly cycling clothing, but also triathlon clothing, athletics clothing, all sportswear clothing can make a difference.
So, but you guys still use the bike fitting system to see, I guess, the position of the rider and everything to design the clothes based in that.
So Raymond, the founder, he kept doing bike fitting as his hobby after his hours.
Oh, cool.
And then since now 12 years, we founded Bioracer Motion, which is a 3D motion analyzing system, so that you get a full 3D view, but he as an expert is seeing in his head, the symmetry, stability, that you can see it in data. So we use that for bike fitters, bike shops all around the world that use the system to help riders find that symmetry and stability. And our speed center we also use this in our development for testing riders, going to wind tunnel, because you can have a super fast position with the fast suit, but if your biomechanics is not good, you will not push your power during the race. So it's really a combination of biomechanics, aerodynamics, comfort, thermoregulation, fit. All those aspects help you win an Olympic medal.
Cool. So all the things that he's talking about right now, it's in a full conference or talk he did yesterday, which is about an hour and a half long, and we're gonna upload that whole talk for the one who wants to learn everything in detail for what you guys do, which is amazing. You know, there's a lot of people, like most of the riders in the world, they're not athletes, like not even high-level athletes. They're just regular riders.
But
can they see what the best things they can feel from Bioracer if they use it?
So they have the same issues. Every rider wants to go faster, and it's faster for your own. If you're riding with a group, you always want to be the better part of the group. So even at beginner level, a good comfortable bib shirt can be the difference, that maybe you go once a week riding because it's not so comfortable, and you maybe only go 1 or 2 times a week riding. But if you have comfortable clothing, you go 3 times a week riding, 4 times a week riding. So if you train more, you will be faster also. Also for weather clothing, in Colombia it's very warm, so having clothing that can cool you down, or in Europe where you have very bad weather, having clothing that protects you against the weather also will make the difference, that you can go riding outside or not. So also there, it makes you faster by having to ride more. And with the bike fitting, the same. Also, just people who are starting to ride their bike, if they want to invest in their body and really have a good idea of how their position is and how they can improve over time. So like for follow-up, to be also injury prevention. So you don't have maybe now you don't have pain, but over a few months' time, if you don't do a checkup, but that's also even for starting riders, it can be important.
Yeah, cool. So I guess how long have you been with Bioracer?
I'm working there for 11 years already.
11 years. So have you seen like what if you grab a clothing from 11 years ago or 20 years ago or I don't know, Bioracer started almost 40 something years ago. Like, can you spell like big difference, let's say decade by decade?
I think like one of the first big improvements, it's padding. If you look to the very old bib shorts, it's like a very thin padding.
Yeah.
It's just it helps against the friction, but it doesn't help for comfort, for hardness.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the bikes are getting stiffer. Like going to carbon bikes,
the
bikes are much harder, stiffer. So it means there's more vibration, pressure touching your body. So you need more comfort. So for that, having developed better padding, also padding that can last more than 15,000 kilometers, more than 20,000 kilometers. Not like in the past, if you wash it, maybe 10 times the foam got softer. So now it's like it's not a foam anymore. It's like a 3D structure. So it gives absorption by the structure. So it doesn't matter how much you wash it, it stays the same structure and it gives the same comfort level.
Cool.
So that's a big improvement. And then with the bib shorts in general, in the past you had the anti-slip stitched in, giving you irritation on the skin. Also the bib shorts were shorter, so it was really pushing your leg, your muscle, where you don't want to have pressure. It was pressing your muscle. Now we made the bibs longer. We have the anti-slip woven into the fabric, so it has a same stretch as the fabric, but still has anti-slip, so your bib short sits good in shape. And then with the clothing there, it got also more fitted to race position, because you don't stand up. Cycling clothing is not made for running; it's made for cycling. So the clothing is more made for running, for cycling. And then having aero fabrics on the sleeves also gives you there some marginal gains while riding. So that's the reason why they don't race anymore with a bib short and a jersey. You race with a one-piece suit because you have less frontal area, more aerodynamics, and which makes the riders go faster.
Cool. So right now, if you see the clothing that I've seen, it seems to be like really cool, really technological and everything. Where do you see the future? Like, what could you design in 10 years? Is there going to be changes? I guess there going to be changes because there's always a development, but it's hard to think about what's going to come after you seeing all of this already.
So like in comfort and performance, we really did big steps in the past years. But now there's still a big issue going on, and it's safety. If you see riders crashing, there are not a lot of the young riders at young age. How many riders you have? It's dropping, like in Europe, because people don't want to have their children go out, ride their bike and crash and be dangerous. So protection, really implementing that, finding solutions that are still, because there are already current solutions, but some are too warm, for example, that you cannot use in summer.
Or too bulky.
So really going to, I think safety is a big next step for clothing.
Yeah, that's a cool one, because I used to race downhill for over like, I don't know, like 15, 16 years. And it's, as a downhill racer, some people's like, oh, that's too dangerous, you know, but I think it's more dangerous than road cycling, because road cycling, you're pretty much like naked, you know.
Like 100 people around you, you only have a thin lycra, and a different guy in front of you. Compared to downhill, they always have protection.
Full face.
You're riding alone, you're not riding in a group, so there's, like you say, technically it looks more dangerous, but it's more safer.
Because when I see like road cycling crashes, like, oh my God, you're like pretty much naked, you know.
And so you see like what happened with Egan Bernal, crashing on training. Like technically maybe that like for your important race that you're not racing with all the safety clothing because it makes your performance less, but for training you can perfectly train with much more safety. Also, the development, it's in process at the moment of having an airbag. Also that, it can really be the difference between having a bad injury or just having a few bruises and go training the day after again. Yeah,
cool. I think the last question would be, do you guys have clothing for entry-level riders. So, because you know, entry-level riders, they don't know if they're gonna feel the difference or not, because they don't have any base to compare, and they don't want to spend that much of money. Do you guys have an entry-level?
So, like in the collection and in the custom clothing, we have two lines: the Icon line and the Epic line. So the Epic line is more race fitting, more premium fabrics, so the more really performance fabrics, and then the Icon line, it's more the normal standard fit, so also for the starting rider, but there still you can have the same padding, because padding, everybody wants the same comfort. Like even a beginning rider, like you have some who has like a padding for short distance, padding for long distance. He wants the same comfort on every ride, not only on a short ride or a long ride. You want to be always comfortable. So those are the same, but there's an entry level with, but still good fabrics. They're also there. If you go to super cheap fabrics, they will not be comfortable. Same like with bib short, we always recommend to go with braces, because the benefit of having good braces is they pull up your pad to your body, so it will be more comfortable, less friction by having a good fit.
Oh, cool.
Also, size is important. Sometimes people come from running and they used to wearing everything loose. But loose clothing, it's less comfortable because it creates more friction while riding, and compared to like a bib short, it should feel like a tight jeans when you put it on for the first time, because that means that it's touching your body good, and it gives the comfort where you want to have it.
Cool. Last question is it the first time you come to Colombia?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, people are very friendly.
Have you been just here in this hotel? We are in a hotel just in the surroundings of the airport, which is outside of Medellin city where I live. Have you been into Medellin?
No, we're gonna go this afternoon to Medellin, and then tomorrow, then we drive to San Rafael for a trail event with Bioracer tomorrow.
Beautiful places around San Rafael, Nice. So hopefully you enjoy the rest of your stay here. You like the city, and
and also great events, nice people here. So fantastic.
Cool. All right. Thanks, mate. Have a good one. Bye. Ciao.